The yarn that I'm going to use is Studio Classic and the color is Gentle Brown. I'm going to use an H hook and you're going to chain 41. I want you to do 41 chains. If you're going to do a child's hat, you're going to chain 35 and you're going to do 10 single crochets and your hat will measure 17 inches or 57 rows. The woman's hat, we're chaining the 41. We're going to do 12 single crochets at the beginning and we're going to do 19 inches or 63 rows. I went ahead and I chained the 41 stitches. So what we're going to do first, we are going to skip the first chain and we're going to single crochet in the next 12 chains. So we're going to skip the first one from the hook, and we're going to do 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this is going to be the bottom part of the half, the single crochet stitches. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to half double crochet and slip stitch to the end of the row. So the next stitch, we're going to half double crochet. That's when you wrap, go into the chain, pull the yarn through, and pull through all 3. That's half double crochet. The next stitch, we're just going to slip stitch, and you just put the hook through the chain, you pull the yarn out, and you pull it through. Okay? We're going to wrap, go into the next stitch, we're going to pull out and we're going to pull through all 3 for the half double crochet. The next stitch, we're going to put the hook through the chain, we're going to pull the yarn out and just pull it through. Half double crochet is next. Bring the hook through the chain, pull the yarn through, pull through 3. Slip stitch is next. We're going to put the hook through the chain and pull the yarn out all the way through. So we're going to continue to do this until we get to the end. See what I'm doing here? Half double crochet, slip stitch, half double crochet, wrap, go into the chain, pull the yarn through, pull through 3, slip stitch, go into the chain, pull the yarn through, pull the yarn through. Now that we're at the last 2 stitches of the first row, We're going to half double crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to slip stitch in the last chain. We're going to pull the yarn through all the way, and then we're going to chain one, and we're going to turn. Now we are going to half double crochet in the first stitch, and we're going to single crochet in the next. Did I get that? Wait a minute, I gotta make sure I did this right. You know, I've done this a long time, but I can still manage to make a mistake. Okay, so we are going to half double crochet into the first stitch, and we're going to slip stitch into the next. Okay, we're going to wrap, go into the slip stitch, pull the yarn through, and half double crochet. We're going to go into the next stitch, and we're going to pull the yarn all the way through, slip stitching. We're going to wrap, go into the next stitch, which is a slip stitch. We're going to pull the yarn through and go through all three for the half double crochet. The next stitch, we're going to go into the stitch, pull the yarn all the way through for the slip stitch. So what we're doing, we're half double crocheting into the previous row. So you slip stitch in the previous row. So what you're doing is you're half double crocheting in the slip stitches, and you're slip stitching in the half double crochet every other stitch. I hope that sounds right. Okay, so we're going to wrap, half double crochet, going into the previous slip stitch. Pull the yarn through, pull through all three. And then we're going to go into the next stitch and pull the yarn all the way through for the slip stitch. So, and try not to be too tight. Half double crochet, single crochet. Continue on until you get to the last 12 stitches, because in the last 12 stitches we're going to single crochet in the back loop of the single crochet. We're gonna single crochet in the back loop of the 12 single crochets. I'll be right back to show you that. I gotta make sure I have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just want to make sure I'm showing you right. I'm going to do a half double crochet into the slip stitch, a slip stitch in the half double crochet, pulling the yarn through. Now we're going to single crochet in the back loop of the 12 single crochets. So in the back loop, in the back, this is the back loop, we're going to single crochet. Do you remember how to do that, my beginners? You're going to go into the back loop. I want to make sure you see that. This is the back loop in between the V. This looks like a V, and we're going into the back loop. So we're single crocheting in the back loop, and you go into the back loop, pull the yarn through, all 2 loops. In the back loop, Pull the yarn through, pull through 2. Just like that. In the back loop. Insert in the back loop, pull the yarn through, pull through 2. And you only do this in the 12 single crochets. It's a beautiful day, and I have my front door open, so I hope you don't hear too much of what's going on outside. Now we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn, and once again we're going to single crochet in the back loop, and we're doing this in the first 12 stitches going up the row. I want to make sure it's the 12. I don't want to make a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Now, we're going to do what we did the rest of the row. We're going to half double crochet, single crochet. Not single crochet, slip stitch. We're going to half double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch. Pulling some more yarn. And we're doing this for 63 rows for a woman's hat. We're going to wrap, and we're half double crocheting into a slip stitch. And then the next stitch, you're going to slip stitch in the half double crochet, because you can see the difference in the sizes. So we're going to go into half double crochet, pull the yarn all the way through for a slip stitch. Once again, we're going to half double crochet, slip stitch in the next. Half double crochet, slip stitch in the next. And remember, your last stitch should be a slip stitch. So when you chain 1 and turn, you're going to be doing a half double crochet into the first stitch, which is a slip stitch. And then when you get to the last 12 single crochets, you're going to single crochet in the back loop of the last 12 single crochets. So continue on and go for 63 rows. And I will see you at the end of 63 rows, or it'll be 19 inches, or maybe just a tad more than 19 inches. I'll see you when we get to the 63 rows. As a matter of fact, when I get to the 63 rows, I'm going to count the rows for you. So don't cut your yarn, don't do anything until you get to 63 rows, and then I'm going to show you how to count the rows if you're not sure how to count the rows. So I'll see you when you're done. As you can see, I've completed making the hat. I just have to put it together. Now, to count the rows, you count the humps. 1 hump is 2 rows. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, and this is 64. And it's 64 because I wanted to finish my last row at the bottom so I can fold it together and sew up the seam. When I make my hats, I don't like to start from the top and sew down. I rather start from the bottom and go up. So one more extra row really won't hurt you. So what we're going to do, we are going to put this hat together. I used a large eye needle. I used a large eye needle. That's what I'm using. And you can get the metal ones, or you can get the plastic ones, but I prefer the metal. Now we're going to put this hat together. So I ended this with a single crochet. I'm going to put my needle through the loop and tighten. Now, I'm going to sew my hat together. We're going to go and connect it to the other side of the hat. I'm going to go up a stitch, pull the thread through, and then I'm going to go back down one more time at the bottom to keep it tight. And if you know how to sew, you just go in and out through the stitches. In and out through the stitches. And make sure you go in every stitch. And when you cut your yarn to do the sewing part, I like to have the length of the yarn that I'm going to use to sew between 30 and 35 inches long. It depends on the size of the hat, but I like to have a long string of yarn, because it's better to have more than enough, and that way you won't have to tie more yarn to finish the job. I'm going to continue sewing this. You see how I'm going in and out of each crochet stitch? I'm going to continue on until I get to the top. And then I'll show you what to do when you get to the top of the hat. So I'll see you at the top. You get to the top, you will see a string at the top. You should have a piece of string at the top from when you first started. And what we're going to do is when we go around to sew, we're going to keep this part so we can tie the two strings together. So let me show you what I mean. What we're going to do, well, what I'm going to do is I want to sew up here one more time, make sure it's nicely closed. And then I'm going to go through again. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the needle and we're going to weave in and out, and then we're going to pull to tighten this, to close this up. Here we go. You weave in, out, in, out, and pull, because it's going to start gathering. Go in and out, in and out, and pull. See how it's starting to close? And we're going to go all the way around, in and out. I guess I should have used a needle that had some color so you could actually see it better. But all I'm doing is taking the needle and going in and out, in and out. That's what I'm doing. How's everybody today? It's a little cloudy here, but it's not raining. Oh my goodness. Did that hurt? I hope not. Okay, we're going in and out, in and out. And see, I'm pulling. I'm pulling. See how it's starting to close up? Let's see, what can I tell you about myself? I have 3 children, 3 grown adults. I have 2 boys and my daughter, who works with me on my channel, she's my baby. See? Look how it's closing. Do you see that? See how it's closing? Because I'm pulling the string. I'm gathering it. Ooh, see? In and out. Now, I've got it this closed. So now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to sew up top. I'm going to sew. Just hold it together. And you have to, I just make a judgment on where I want to start sewing, because I'm just sewing to close it. Because once we're done with this, we're going to turn it over. And what is it going to be? It's going to be a hat. It's gonna be a hat. And I'm sewing it to close it as tight as possible. You just want to make sure you get all the openings closed. That's what you're doing. And now I'm going to go back this way to meet up with this string. You didn't think it was this easy to make a hat, did you? But it is. There's so many different kind of hats to make. And every now and then I'll say it's hat time. Okay. So I met up with the loose string, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my scissors. This is another type of scissor. Like, it comes in this kit. See my kit? These scissors come with that. I think you can buy it separately too. I'm not sure. I do have another kind. Oh, I thought I had it out. Do I have it out? Oh, yes. I know you can buy this separately as well. It says Singer for sewing. I do sew too, but this is another type of scissor you can get besides the regular pair of scissors. All right, so we're cutting this. Cut, cut, cut. And we're gonna make a nice knot. One knot. Now, I'm gonna also tell you that I use fabric fusion sometimes, because when I make a knot, I want to make sure it stays. And all I do, I just put a little of it in the knot. Just a tad. There you go. And then I make my knot to keep the knot from coming loose. You see? And I'm going to do it one more time. There. And I am going to cut it. Snip, snip. Snip. And then what you do is you turn it right side out. Make sure you punch the top up. And there. You have a hat. Does it look better this way? You have your hat. Now, remember when I showed you how to make this pom-pom? I kept it because I planned on putting it on top. So to do that, I get my crochet hook. Now this is a size H. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. This is a H hook. And And I'm going to determine where the center is. And I'm going to put my crochet needle on one side of the center. I'm going to grab, I made loops when I did my my puff, my pom-pom. So I'm going to grab the loop and I'm going to pull it through the hat. So now I have to look at it and see where I'm going on the other side. I see the other side. I'm taking my hook and I'm going to the opposite side of the center, the opposite side, and I'm going to pull this loop through. Now, once I pulled it through, I've pulled it through, and I'm going to go upside down into the hat, and I'm going to tie it real good. And I'm going to look at it again, make sure it's okay, and it looks okay to me. And I'm going to go back in, I just made one knot. I'm going to put in my fabric fusion to keep the knot tight. Ooh. There. I'm going to make a knot. And I'm going to make another knot. Because with this string, it's doubled, so it's really 4 strings. And I just want to make sure the pom-pom stays there, real tight. And then I'm going to cut, snip, snip. And I'm going to just weave it into the stitches to hide the rest of the string. Here's your hat. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. So I'll see you next time. Bye.